So I'm back with the May flip. Let's just jump right into it. So when I left off last time, let's see, I was in the first week of May, and I had some hearts that hung from here, if you remember, and I wasn't sure if I was going to keep them. Well, I decided not to keep them. They were bugging me because they were hanging and flipping, and so I ended up just gluing 3 of those hearts up there. And then I wanted to cover this journaling, not because it's secretive or anything like that. I just wanted to have something a little bit different there. So I had this die cut, and I just put that over it, and I love the way that turned out. And then I think this part of the spread was done, but this week had not been completed yet. So this is the week, and mostly it's about reading. So the books that I was currently reading are what are noted here. And then when we go on to the second week of May, you saw the squirrel. He was done. He was just the squirrel. There was nothing else on this page. And since that time, I've obviously added a bow tie and some glasses to him. And I found this transparency that said party animal, which just seemed perfect for him. And these are from Pinterest, and I just colored them with my colored pencils and put there, and then I journaled about my love of coffee. Now, sometimes when the week is slower, there's really not a lot going on. I work, and that's about it. I come home, there's not a lot of interesting things going on in my life, so if I don't know what to write about, then I might just pick a topic like this love of coffee. This graphic inspired it, and Debbie had asked if my graphics are inspired. Do they inspire my journaling, or are they just graphics that you like? And it's actually a little bit of both. I try and tie my graphics to my journaling, but there are things like this picture right here has absolutely nothing to do with anything. I just like it. So, and the same thing with those cats. These are wrapping paper, by the way, that I just cut out the cats. So anyway, that's what this spread is. And this is a tab that I just put there and just put a couple words on there. And then here's the third week, and this was inspired by Danny B. She had done a Bohemian Journal, I think it was, where she had this quote, "Do you suppose she's a wildflower?" that came from Alice in Wonderland. And I just love that. And I happen to have this little Alice that I cut out, so I thought it'd be perfect. So that's why that's in there. And again, the graphic inspired the journaling. Same thing with this. I had called a friend, and I had this phone, and that inspired that journaling. This lady right here, you might remember, her other half is way back here. Wow, I don't think oh yeah, there she is. So I cut her in half, and because I just wanted her eyes in this particular picture, but I kept the other half. And so I put it here, and because she had no eyes, I just put some glasses there that made it look like she had eyes. So that worked out well. Hydrangeas are in bloom here now. Our hydrangeas just started to bloom, and they're awesome. And here's a flip. And then here's the third week in May. And this was one giant sunflower. And I cut it in half, put it down at the bottom. And then I had made these quite a while ago using paint, and then just put these black. I don't remember if it was Cat Hand. I think it was Cat Hand that had a video on this. I'll try and find it. And so I'd made some of these, and what I did was just cut one in half and just glued it on over this. And everything else pretty much is journaling. This is a doodled frame that I journaled on and then just split across the page. And did quite a bit of doodling. You'll see a lot of black in my journaling, black and white. I love that. I always think it makes a great statement. And then this is this week. So Monday was Memorial Day, And I made a copy of my dad's Purple Heart and put it in here. I did a doodled frame, and then that just flips up. And then I did a little memorial to my dad. I don't exactly know where the rest of the week is going to go, but this is a picture of Mozzie. You've seen him before, and these are our hydrangeas now, so the colors have really started to bloom. And I just tucked that in there because I thought it was cute and looked good there. So that's pretty much May. So there you go. So I wanted to mention a couple things. If you have graphics that aren't really bright colored and you want to spice them up a little bit, I never mentioned this. I should have told you guys this. I frequently use colored pencils. These are Prisma, but you could use any colored pencil to enhance some of the things, like these cat's eyes. I enhanced them with the green and the blue here. And I'll pink up their ears if they look a little faded. Same thing with her eyes. I added blue on those. On this bird, I added just a little more red to kind of brighten up the color if they look a little bit too faint. I even, because this was a little bit faint and it wasn't as bright as I wanted it to be, I added a little bit of green and blue on that. Let's see, what else? I think that's it. But, oh, this was just a rub-on, and it was just black, and I decided I wanted to add a little more color to it. So again, just right over it. So colored pencils work really good in your journals. So just a little something to remind you guys of. And then I also wanted to show you, several of you have asked about the Somerset magazines. So here is Somerset Studio. I use this one quite a bit. And this one comes out every other month, I believe. So that's one of them. And then this is Somerset Art Journaling. And this is quarterly. I had quite a few of these, and so I'm still going through and cutting them up. Which brings me to something I wanted to tell you about magazines when you go through them. When you go through them the first time and you pull out things that you like, and remember I said if you see anything and it just strikes you, pull it out. Well, the other thing that I do is I set it aside maybe for a day or two, and I go back through it. And oftentimes I will find things that I didn't see the first time through. So just a little hint of something if, to think about when you go through your magazines. And then the other thing I was going to tell you is this is a Somerset coloring book, and this is the second edition of it. And this one is awesome. It's got fantastic graphics. And what I intend to do is scan this, and then I'll color the scan. And then you can use bits and pieces of it when you print it out. Or, you might want to use the whole thing. It just depends. But there's quite a number of things that I intend to use, like probably her. You'll see her in my journal at some point. I just think it's a fantastic addition this time. So you might want to look for that in your stores. I think this was, $14.99 in the U.S. But if you scan it, you'll have it forever, and you'll have your graphics there that you can continue to use. The other thing I was going to show you was this is the current Oprah Magazine, and I wanted to show you some things that you might not think about. These glasses would be something to cut out. You can cut out the center of them and place them over something so you get rid of the earpieces there, but that's a pretty good graphic to have. It's a nice size. This guy I will probably cut out. He'll appear in something. I'm not exactly sure what. And then also I wanted to show you these plates. I think these are really awesome. I'm not exactly sure how I'll use them, but I'll pull this page out, and then when I go to use it, I'll decide whether I want just this plate, or maybe I want these two plates, or these three. It just depends. Or even just this one by itself. This one would be good actually on the edge of a page. But I'll pull the whole page out and I'll, hang on to it till I'm ready to use it. So I wouldn't cut these all out individually because I might want them all. You never know. So there's that. Okay, back to this for a second because I did want to talk to you a little bit about tip-ins. So I do a lot of tip-ins, and I wanted to remind you that when you do your tip-ins, make sure you space them throughout your journal. So have some on the edge, some down here, middle, and top, so that it doesn't bulk up just in the center. So you'll see that I do use, almost every week, I don't have any on there, but almost every week I'll have a tip in. So there's a center one, and here's a bottom one. And if I had one on this page, I would, probably put it here. Oh, here's something I wanted to tell you about. I forgot. This was a napkin. I collaged it on, and it didn't have enough color, so I put another layer. So it's actually a double layer of the napkin, but you can use those in your journal too. And because you're using, a piece of paper on top of the journal, the magazine, you have some depth so it doesn't curl on you, or it's not bad. It just worked perfectly. I used Mod Podge and just put it down. And then put a layer of Mod Podge over it. So that's something you can think about. And finally, I was struggling with what I was going to do with the beginning of this book. I left the pages blank. Well, I think I've decided. I'm going to do 2016 review on these 2 pages. So I'll do 6 months on each side. And I'm going to do it I doodled some frames, and I think I'm going to put them like this, and then I'll just do bullets of the highlights for 2016. So January, February, March, April, May, June, and then the other months over here. And I'm going to be working on that. So maybe next month you'll see it, because hopefully I'll have at least a few months done. I think that's the way I want to go. And I also think I've decided on what I'm going to do for the cover. However, I'm not going to do it till towards the end of the year because I just don't want the cover to take a lot of abuse. So I'll leave that. But look how thick this thing is getting. Woohoo! I love it. And I always have to just do this for you guys because I don't know. I enjoy this thing. I just love the way it feels in my hand. And I just think it's turning out great. So anyway, that's it for May. I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.